Shipping containers are used for shipping primarily for import and export of goods. They're an effective mode of transportation because of the consistent size and length and width of them, going from the truck to the train to the ship. What's really come about now is the secondary use of them. They're becoming a lot more popular in terms of storage. They're relatively inexpensive to buy, they're secure, they're watertight, they're fairly robust. So there's a high level of attraction to use shipping containers for storage on either work sites or at homes.
Every time you introduce a new hazard into the container, you have to do a reasonable assessment to make sure that what you're doing is not going to, first of all, create a combustible scenario, or are you going to be creating an oxygen deficient atmosphere? Are you creating a hazard which you're containing inside that container? We've had many instances just in the shipping logistics industry. Warehouse workers have opened up a container and been overcome by whatever was sprayed in there that was to keep the product safe, and we've had workers basically being affected by that.
People were storing products in them that become unstable, say with gasoline or propane, that of course with gasoline can vaporize. And then of course the container itself has no ability through its original design to ventilate. And so the pressures basically build inside the container, and then of course a catastrophic explosion can occur. There was a shipping container adjacent to a log home structure that was being built. There was a fire on that structure. What they had inside of the container was the chainsaws, and there was gasoline in those chainsaws. Unfortunately, the gasoline had vaporized and the pressure increased in the container and blew out the doors on the container. There was a firefighter sort of within that proximal range of where the doors were. When it does explode, it's with considerable force. Each door is about 250 pounds and can travel a considerable distance once it ruptures. The incident that occurred in Saanich, they put a propane barbecue in one of these shipping containers. Inside that container there was an ignition source with a vending machine. The propane had vented inside of the container, and then once the vending machine had cycled, then that was the ignition source. We're looking at really propane and gasoline at the moment, but I'm sure there are plenty of others that can cause an additional hazard. It's a combination of events. The product itself may be quite stable, but then if there's an adjacent fire, like Enderby was, that increases the risk level. There may be some misconceptions around quantities of material and how much quantity do you need for one of these containers to actually rupture. The fire department have done some tests, and it takes less than 1 litre of gasoline that vaporizes to forcibly explode one of these containers. We could be talking about, your weed whacker, your lawnmower, different gasoline-powered tools. Collectively together, they would have at least 1 litre of gasoline that could have that risk potential.
This has to be an important issue. They're all over the place. These things are starting to appear and they're being repurposed. It is a good idea, but with every good idea comes certain risks.